Hi guys, and welcome to another Zero Stream evening. I hope everyone is doing well. Hello Tails, hello G Money 248. Thanks for coming by. Hello Pokemon Master Wheeler. Good to see y'all this evening. I hope everyone had survived your Monday, and well, it's almost Thanksgiving. Almost Thanksgiving break for a lot of us here in America. So, what are we doing tonight? Well, I have a lot left to do on my comic. So if you haven't, if you don't already know, I do a Pokemon Nuzlocke comic called Jet's Black Nuzlocke, and I still haven't done any shading on it. I've done shading on 2 pages out of like, well, we'll see. By the way, it's me, Gavin. Oh, okay. G Money 248 is Gavin. Hi, Gavin. So later on today, I'm going to take a break from working on the stuff so I can explain to Nyx what vectors are. Soul Hawthorne. Gee, Jet, how come your mom let you have 2 streams? 2 streams on Twitch and on YouTube. I use a thing called Restreamio. That's restream.io, and it lets me stream to different platforms at once. Ain't that neat? So I'm going to spend today's stream working on the shading for the comic, because I want to get it done by the 27th for my Patreon. And so I have 17 pages in this episode, and I've only gotten 2 of them shaded. So we're going to have some fun and just kind of go through and do the shading and see how far we can get. I figured, I was tossing around ideas today on what I could stream. I was even like crying to my friends, like, I have no idea what I want to stream. They're like, do whatever you want. I'm like, but I don't. The problem is, I have this project I have to get done, and it just takes all the wind out of my sails for wanting to do, like, other stuff. Oh, guys, hold on a sec. I gotta take a phone call, but I will keep drawing and I'll be right back. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me check the chat real quick. It's easy for me since I'm on break. G, that's thick neck. The labor is suddenly a lot less intense. I mean, I'm just kind of like, you know. Anyway, sorry about that. So today, is Monday, and usually I have an intern who, like, runs the lab, for the print shop, but, since it's almost Thanksgiving, she went, home for the holiday, early, so I had to get someone else to do the lab, and they, haven't done the lab in, like, since... Man, it might have been a whole year since they've last done the lab. So, if I step out constantly, it's because they're calling for help. But, yeah. That's why I had to disappear. But, I'm back. And, yeah, I mean, I sketched that wacky proportions out, and I kind of just like it. I don't know. I didn't want to change it. So that's why he looks so silly, but I think it's cute. I think it's cute. You know, when you're doing a comic monthly, you kind of just have to go with it. Can't finesse the proportions too much. But yeah, I'm just gonna do this for a while, and then once Colorful Chimera Nyx comes around, I'm gonna take a quick detour because I need to explain what the deal with vectors are, since Nyx apparently has no idea what those are. Chico says, Jet, the lab is on fire, what do I do? Oh man. I always, my old boss used to, joke whenever he comes into work, is like, is anything on fire? Is everything alright? And I used to laugh. It's like, what, you don't think I can handle it? But it's like exactly that feeling when I come into work now. Is everything alright? Is anything on fire? You never can tell with printers, honestly. Victors? Victor Crumbs? No. Vectors, Chico. Actually, Chico, maybe you can inform me on how to do vectors on Clip later as well. I'm gonna first show it in Illustrator because that's where I've actually used it before. But then, I know you're much better at Clip than I am, and I'm pretty sure Clip would have, a vector tool of some kind, like the pen tool, you know? I actually don't like using vectors or, like, the pen tool in Photoshop. It certainly has its uses, but, it doesn't work the same as in Illustrator. Like, you can't really... It doesn't really put down vector lines. It, like, puts down the vectors and then you have to draw over them. So it's slightly different. I don't use Illustrator for anything anymore, though, so... Like, the only thing I ever open Illustrator for, is... The only thing I ever open Illustrator for is if I want to, like, live trace something. And the live trace function is really cool. It turns anything you want into a vector. And you gotta put up with some jankiness, and you gotta, like, play around with the settings. But it doesn't do a bad job at all. Chico says, I mostly use vectors in Flash. I think everything in Flash is technically a vector, but that's also not what I'm talking about. Yeah, like, I'm talking about, like, the pen tool, putting down the points, the vector points, and drawing curves from them, which I've never actually done in Flash. So I also would not be able to show how it's done in Flash. You know, Adobe has all these software. They really could do better with keeping things consistent between their softwares. We were just complaining about it the other day in terms of like shortcuts, because in InDesign doing Command D lets you place items, objects and stuff, images I guess, or files of any kind, but in Illustrator Command D duplicates the last thing you did, so it's kind of like a short action button. But then in Photoshop it deselects whatever you have selected. So it's like the same shortcut does 3 different things in 3 different programs. Chico says you can turn yourself into a vector. You can turn yourself into a vector, yeah. I actually have. One of my first ever computer graphic classes in high school. So in high school we had a computer graphic class, and one of the illustration projects was to take a photo of yourself and then trace shapes out of the shadows and stuff, and you get this cool cell shaded effect. I mean, it certainly teaches you how to control that pen tool. I used to use the pen tool before I got a graphic tablet. Right now I draw with the Cintiq, the Wacom 13-inch Cintiq. It's one of those screens that you can draw directly onto with a special pen. And you know, it basically just feels like you're drawing on paper, but well, not perfectly, but close enough. But before then, when all I had was a trackpad and a mouse, I would use the mouse in Illustrator and trace my sketches, which I scanned in. So I would sketch on paper and then trace it with the pen tool. Also, I don't think I said hi, Mouse. Hi, Mouse. Thanks for coming. I get off a phone call and I have no idea where I am or what I was doing. But I don't want to forget to say hello to everyone who's taking the time out to hang out with me while I draw, while I get some work done. If y'all have work to do, then work pack with me. Get some work done. Leonard's here! Hello, peoples! For some reason, that just looked like peeps in my head, so that's what I was about to say, and I was like, no, Leonard is speaking real words. Finally, my dream of becoming a cartoon will soon be reality. Gavin's like, yo! Wheeler says, hi, Mouse! Leonard says, I never draw with pen pressure on because I like the look of consistent, clean lines. I think technically that's what they do for anime, too. With animation, it's, like, hard enough to get your shapes, to be, you know, consistent, like the mass and stuff, that, usually, at least back when digital art for animation started being you know, used a lot, I think a lot of the times the lines would just be pen pressureless, because that's one less variation you have to worry about. Otherwise you would risk, like, you know, boiling, which is when something changes from frame to frame, but like ever so slightly, so it looks like the lines are boiling. Oopsies. This Okay. Can you spot the problem? So this is Leopard's shadow, and I put Firedog's tail on the end of it. My bad. I don't think his tail would actually, I don't think Leopard's tail would actually cast a shadow. So I'm not gonna extend that. And Firedog's tail would go down here, so I'm not gonna extend that either. I don't know how to do stairs, guys. Stairs are weird. Like, I think it's gonna have this trajectory, and then I start drawing it, and suddenly it's like, oh, well, I'm completely off. Is that supposed to be his tooth? I think that's supposed to be a tooth. I can't really tell. I'm gonna sharpen that bugger. Oops. And then shade in the ears. Okay, I think that's another page. Well, that's one page. That's one page done with the shadow. Next page. Oops. Let's see. Julian's here! Hey, Zira, how are you? I'm doing alright. Louisa is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Louisa. Louise. Ah! I don't know if peoples is a real word either. I think it is. It's like multiple people groups, you know? Like if you're you can be multiple I don't know if persons is a word. I think it is. I don't know what the meaning or the usage is, but I definitely know peoples can be a word rather than saying like you know, one person, multiple people, but then you have people group like the Native American peoples. I don't know. That's what I assume. I'm working on my own comic while you stream. Good job, Gavin. Getting some stuff done. Leonard said I never draw. Oh, okay. Leonard says, oh, I read that one too. Hello, everyone. Hey, Julian. I won't be around for a long time. I went to sleep at 2 a.m. last night and I'm dying. Oh no! I don't remember what time zone you're in, but get some sleep when you can. I hate when oops. Yeah, I hate when I accidentally forget to sleep. For me, I need to get added to this. Hold on. Hold on. Check them. No image sent. I'm getting messages again. For everyone who's joining late, I'm going to be if I go silent to like answer a phone call or something, it's because I need to help I got a sub for the lab that runs on Monday nights, and so if they need help with the equipment, with the machines or anything, I gotta step out and talk to them. Oh. Oh, okay. She's not got an emergency. She's just sending me stuff, which I can check later. What was I even talking about? Okay, so he's scraping the wall, causing dust, and that's how you're gonna get was it sand attack? I don't remember if I checked Sharon's team and his Leopard has sand attack. Maybe I don't know if that's the case. I'm pretty sure Fire Dog didn't have Flash at this point, so this might just be my artistic liberties. Just kind of, you know, it's a battle. What can we throw at each other? This isn't like a league regulated battle anyway, so they probably didn't have to register the like what moves they're using. I never know if with league with the 4 move what am I saying? Limit, if it's like the Pokemon literally can't remember that many, because it says, oh, this Pokemon forgot the move and learned the other move. So it's like it implies they're literally like they can only remember 4 moves, or if it's that you're like allowed to use 4 moves in your attack roster, and you have those like registered or something on your Pokedex, and you have to, you know, if you use a move that's not in your 4, then you're breaking the rules. Just sort of to make it, you know, like these are official moves that Pokemon can use. You can't just bite the other person's head off. You have to use like a move that the opponent can conceivably have trained against. Let's see. Sand attack? It is really odd that the English language has this collective words like one child and 2 children, where here we would call them childs. It's weird because we also have like, we have both. We have kid and we have kids, you know? Child, children, but then baby and then babies. It's not sheeps, it's sheep. It's just the same. But then if you have a moose, you don't have meese? I don't know. Like goose, geese, moose, meese? I think it had something to do with like the origins of certain words, and like we've taken words from different cultures, and some cultures do the conjugation thing but others didn't, and then we like had moosin. I love that. Hold on. A long time I went to sleep and dying. I hope you don't die, Jillian. Hello, Weeza. Oof. But I like drawings that use different stroke widths. You like... Wait. Julian says, doesn't draw with pen pressure because I like the consistent lines, but likes... So you like to look at drawings with line variation? Makes everything look like a sticker. Oh, I love that effect. Sometimes, just taking an illustration or a small character doodle and like bolding the outside line, like the extreme outside line, makes a huge difference in having it stand out with the readability. Sometimes in the comic I do that too. If something in the foreground is supposed to be more like you're supposed to see it more than the background, then I'll bold it slightly. As with most things though, I would like to do more of that stuff on purpose and not just on accident. Sometimes I don't pay too much attention to the line thickness, and it doesn't always look great when you're not being deliberate. They suddenly have Parkinson. it is really odd that the English language... Oh, yeah. I like to think they're allowed to use 2 moves. I mean, 4 moves in official battles. How could a Poochyena forget how to bite? I know, right? Though there is the idea that the move bite isn't actually just a bite. You know, like, it's not just them chomping on you, because when you look at the move in places like, Pokemon Stadium, for instance, it has this dark energy that comes out, and that energy, like, bites you. Or, like, in the anime, they sort of make the teeth glow, so there's some kind of Pokemon energy going into it, which I guess is why it's a dark type move and not a normal type move. So it's possible that they can still, like, nip you, but, using that, like, dark energy. Dark magic attack! Is, like, something that they can forget. What more is, for me, what makes less sense is, like, knowledge doesn't work that way. You don't just, like, learn something new and instantly forget exactly one other thing. Like, my brain capacity! It's too small! I don't know. Though I guess you don't technically also, like, deep, poof! You learned an entire new skill! Like, that also doesn't really happen, so, you know, I guess it's a game. But yeah, I like to think it's registering moves versus literally can't remember another attack. Can't remember more than 4 attacks, even though I'm an Alakazam with, like, 1,000 IQ, you know? I don't know if I like that shadow there. Maybe a little closer to the edge, like that. Just like that. Chico's like, I like thick lines. They make me feel safe. Mouse and mice, but not house and heist. Hi, hey Zero. What was the last movie you watched? Watched Inside Out for the first time today. Wonderful movie. I'll get back to that once I catch up with the chat. Meese. A slice of cheese would be called a chews. Wheeler says, I used to make the outlines of character sticker. Soul says, it's German's fault English is like that. Oh, really? I don't know any German except for, Guten Tag. Pokemon Master Wheeler says, but it got too time consuming to keep up with. Soul says there's like 5 different plural endings for German nouns and like no real way to predict. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, you just kind of have to know which one is which one. Soul says moose is a Native American word, which is why it's not meese. Huh. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. Chico says, I kind of like the... Oh, I read that one. Master Wheeler says, the anime with its magic giant teeth at ease. Wait, Chico says, at ease would be a better way to describe it. I don't know what that's referring to. I'm sorry. Louisa says, I remember Giraffarigs biting Blaziken and exploding somehow. Chico says, Pokemon energy equals nitroglycerin. Bakugo, anyone? Gavin says, so all Poochyena are shadow Pokemon since they have dark auras? I guess Cypher's plans have succeeded with Poochyena. Master Wheeler says, the anime used to consider the 4-move limit a suggestion, but it seems to stick to it. They're more like guidelines. Tails says, I like the idea that it's not Pokemon can't learn 4 moves, but you can only use 4 moves in battle. So they don't forget to use Bite, you just rather use diff moves officially. Yeah. Leonard says, if you could learn a new ability by eating a book. Yeah, I would. What ability though? Like, would it have to be like a manual? But yeah, I would totally do that. Books aren't sacred. What are you talking about? Wee says, Bummer Dude made this comic where Ghastly forgets Scary Face! Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Drop kick. Foxy's here! Hi Foxy, thanks for coming! It's been a long time! Gavin says, or a fireball. In Pokemon Sun, I'm upping the move limit to 8. Not really a need for any more than that. There was a comic, or not a comic, there was a Nuzlocke that a friend of mine was, had read, that said, that had, I can't remember what the comic, I think it was a written lock, a story lock, actually. I call it all Nuzlocke's comics, but, that's because that's what I associate with it, but it was a story lock, and I think, youngster Joey was, like, calling out moves that, weren't moves, like, do a hyper backflip, do a death windmill, or something. And then the main character used, like, a basic, move name, like, use tackle. And Joey was like, wow, you must be new, because apparently in that world, you kind of want to make up, code names for your moves so that the opponent can't, like, guess what move you're using, and, like, I thought that was really, really cool. I can't believe I've never even thought about that before. But anyway, Wheeler says, Foxy says, I know, and I miss you guys. Have you been drawing lately, Foxy? I miss seeing your wolf arts. You should draw some rats when you have a chance. Do a barrel roll. We don't talk about written locks. No, Chico, we love written locks. We support all Nuzlocke content. Oops. Accidentally zoomed in there. Sometimes I would be like just clicking around my my shortcuts, and then suddenly the zoom tool will accidentally get selected. I think it's like part of one of my it's like Z might be a part of one of my other shortcuts that I have mapped to my buttons. So it just accidentally clicks it. That's really cool. In Pokemon Legends, there's a bit where Brock's like, this is your first gym battle? Then I'll use my weakest Pokemon. Do the Rickroll attack. Never gonna give you up. Foxy says, yeah, I have. Working on one right now. Why and when did you start drawing? Okay, so first question, jumping back in the chat a bit. What movie have I seen lately? The last movie I've seen, first of all, Inside Out, great concept for a movie. Really like the animation, great jokes here and there. Wasn't a huge fan myself. I know a lot of people really like it, and certainly when I watched it, I had fun, and like directly afterwards maybe I was like thinking about it. But yeah, I didn't like Bing Bong, and I think that might have like done a number on how much I enjoyed the movie, because the whole time I thought he was untrustworthy, because he was dressed like this he was like dressed like a hobo, and he was talking like a sleazy sort of con man. And yeah, the whole time I thought like, wow, that character is gonna like betray them or something, or he's gonna be a reveal villain or something like that. And then at the end he like does the heroic sacrifice, and right up until the moment when he leaps off he's like about to leap off, spoilers I guess for Inside Out, sorry. At the very end I was like, oh, I was supposed to like this character. Oops. I mean, like, he has a great design. He's a good character. I just didn't like him as a person. Like, I thought he was I was on the edge. I also didn't like that like everyone else, their brain people like are these unique things, but then Riley's brain people are like the default. I don't know what the logic behind that is, other than like, oh, it's to tell them apart. But it's really interesting because I consider Joy kind of, she's basically the antagonist of the story, but she's also the protagonist in that we follow her journey. Like she's the point of view character. So I guess she's not an antagonist, but she's not really a villain. I don't know what to call her. But like most of the problems in the like that come up are because of her. And I really like that. That's a cool thing to see in a Pixar movie. What movie have I seen though? Like new movie. Man, it's been a long time. I don't know, guys. I'll have to... I know I said I would get to that question later, but I'm going to get to it even later because I need to think on that. Why and when did you start drawing? I started drawing right out the mother's womb. No, I'm just kidding. But like really young. There's this sort of threshold of criticism that you have to do with art. When kids are a certain age and they're like drawing, it doesn't matter if that drawing is the like prodigy level genius artistic for a child, or if it's garbage. You praise that kid and you tell them it's the best thing you've ever seen, and you build up that like that desire to continue making stuff. And then at a certain point, and it's a little different for everyone, but at a certain point you start to like gently push them in the right direction of it's good, but it could be better, and like you show them good stuff that that they can admire and look up to and aspire to. And then at a certain point, usually in college or even high school, I think, before college would probably be better, you gotta lay down some, no kid, this is bad and you should feel bad, but you can fix it if you like do this and this. Too soon and they just completely lose the desire to do art. Too late and they think they're like the hot stuff and they'll never want to learn. Like you don't want to like quench the passion, but you also don't want to raise a pompous attitude. It's hard, but I was one of the kids where I would draw like terrible art and my parents would just be like, that's really cool. They didn't like go, whoa, that's amazing. I was being exaggeratory before. but like they would put it on the wall. They would say, "Wow, you drew this," and stuff, and it was fun. It made me feel good. So, you know, elementary school, I drew a lot. I did my first comics when I was probably in middle school. They were with these tiny little cat characters, cat with a K, that I would just make up stories for, I guess. Not really even stories, like gags, but like really not funny gags. Like, I think my favorite gag was character walks in on panel 1, trips and falls on nothing on panel 2, and is lying face down in panel 3. Comedic genius. Guffaws all around. Comedy gold. Anyway, so yeah, like a lot of strange small comic strip stuff. My first like long form comic started right about, I think, high school, when a friend of mine introduced me to a terribly hilarious, or a hilariously not terribly hilarious, a hilariously terrible manga called Orion 6, I think. And it was so bad that we just loved making jokes and like reading it together and poking fun of it. Basically like an abridged series, but just between us. And I decided to do a parody of it. And it's on my DeviantArt if you guys want to check it out. It's ZeroChan923600. That's ZeroChan, 0CA, like 0 spelled out and then CHAN, and then the numbers 923600. On DeviantArt, or you can just go to zeroprostudio.com and there's a link to it from there. But anyway, it's like way down. Actually, it has its own gallery thing, so it's not too hard to find. But my first foray into I want to say long form comicking, because it was pretty long. Took me several years to do because I kept putting it off. And I used I had a lot of OCs that didn't belong to any story. So I used those as just characters. Man, that was a fun project. And then in high school, I kind of found out that, hi, Kadoo's here. In high school, I found out our school had a computer graphics class. That's what it was called, computer graphics class. And so I took that, and while I was taking that, I had great teachers. I hear horror stories all the time about terrible art teachers. But I had great art teachers who would, like, you know, encourage me and stuff. And that's where I used Photoshop and Flash and Illustrator for the first time. But then when I was finishing that class, the teacher's like, you should take the animation class. And I'm like, what's animation class? And they're like, well, you know, like cartoons and stuff. And I was like, you can learn how to do that? That's not just something that appears out of the nether that like people are born doing. That's like a job option. So I took an animation class, and it was like Flash and Bryce, I think, was what we used for like 3D modeling. And then I went to college for art, and then here I am drawing Pokemon comics online, living the dream. Let's see. Foxy's be right back. Master Wheeler says OP. Or maybe Master Wheeler is singing oh. Oppa, drop your phone style. Kadoo says, how darest thou just plugging my Patreon in general like I wouldn't notice. I love you, Canoe. Leonard says, that's why character design matters. Leonard says, I hate that Pixar movies have to be emotional all the time. But I love that the it's okay to be sad message. Chico says, antagonists and protagonists can be the same? Not necessarily. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm using one of the terms wrong. Chico says, I wasn't taught that. Canoe says, character versus self is a valid conflict of storytelling. Leonard said, no, a protagonist is the character whose arc is dependent on the story arc. Is Joy being protag and antag at the same... so Joy being protag and antag at the same time is legit. Like, that's where I'm thinking I'm using the terms wrong. Because Leonard is also right, saying the antagonist is the one who tries to stop the protagonist from getting their goal. A protagonist can be a villain and a hero can be an antagonist. Has nothing to do with moral alignment. I just couldn't think of the right word for what Joy was being. Like, she's not really villain. Because when you say villain, that's different from antagonist. In a way. Even if they could be the same. In any case, what I'm trying to say is Joy is in fact, her own antagonist. But in terms of storytelling words, there would probably be a better term for that. Like a more accurate term, which I am not, which is not coming to me right now. I think the antagonist of that movie was the girl herself. Can the antagonist become a protagonist and vice versa? I see that happen a lot in anime compared to other fiction. Leonard said there's either only one protagonist, which means the story is about them, or no protagonist. They would be main characters then. I mean, you can have multiple protagonists, I think, in like a, what is it called? An ensemble piece? Like, they're not all main characters, but they're all protagonists. Like your, I guess, I don't know. If based on what you said, the protagonist has to be what drives the plot forward, then in an ensemble piece where it is the group dynamic or like the multiple characters themselves, I can see that being considered multiple protagonists, I guess. Right? I've been here for like the past 15 minutes. Yeah, I didn't see you until now because I was drawing and talking to myself. There's everyone else is like saying hi too. Ever since I noticed someone plugged my earmuffs fun, everyone needs to like subscribe to Kadu's Patreon so she can wear earmuffs and her ears won't freeze and fall off. Of course, you can learn stuff. I love you, teaser, yay! And Gavin says I like comedies. Jillian says, well, I'm dying right now, so I'm going to sleep. Good night, Jillian. Thanks for coming by. It's so nice to have you stick by for however long you can without dying. So get some sleep. Don't forget to drink water. And I hope you get some good rest tonight. Lara says I get my terms from Robert McKee. There's also anti-heroes, anti-villains. An anti-hero is one who makes the right choices for the wrong reasons. Anti-villain is that who makes the wrong choices for the right reasons. Are you sure it's not the other way around? I honestly don't know. Joy's an anti-villain in that case. Hello again. Kadu's ears will freeze. Oh no, yeah! Kadu was talking this morning about how she's a fool and like went out into the winter air and nearly froze her ears off. Which would be terrible. But I don't actually have earmuffs either. I used to have, I think I might still do somewhere. I have these earmuffs that look like they were made out of a golden retriever, but they're too small. So they like squeeze my head and it hurts my brain. I'm always wearing a hat. Like, you might, if you think, oh, she just like draws herself with a hat all the time, that's just a character. Like, no, I always wear a hat, to the point where I think maybe my hair is starting to thin. Like, I'm starting to worry that I'm gonna have like male pattern baldness or something from wearing a hat too much. My hat is kind of a military style cap sort of thing, and it does not keep the ears warm very much. I have other hats for that, which are also too small and squeeze my brain. But the one I do have, at least, stays on my head. And that's all I ask for. I'm probably gonna have to get a new hat soon. I have more military style caps, but they're way lower quality. I got them on Amazon for like cheap, and yeah, they're just so low quality compared to the one I have right now that I don't really like wearing them. So I'm gonna go to a hat shop that's at the mall that I've never actually been to. As much as I love hats, I've never gone to the hat shop, and I should be ashamed. What am I talking about? Hats. Kadu said I left without a hat. Oh, that's why. I left without a hat on a freezing cold day to a class that was canceled, so I could have just stayed home the whole time. Cry! I've done that so many times, though. Leonard said yes. For example, Batman fights crime because of revenge, anti-hero. Okay, that makes sense. But is he still fighting because of revenge? Isn't it like he's doing vigilantism, which is against the law, so that's a bad act, but he's doing it to fight crime, which is a good? Maybe he's both. Maybe he's an anti-hero villain. Jet's an anti-villain. What? Oh, because she does the wrong thing for the right reason? She's always doing the wrong things. I just don't know about the word villain, because villain implies like mwahaha, malicious intent sort of thing, whereas an antagonist just implies like you're working against. Okay, no shading in this panel, but I might add some white to the color, cause then that'll make it like washed out and make it appear even brighter. Maybe all the way down to the face, the whiskers. Color in that part. Sometimes when I color in with the bucket tool and clip, it like leaves a slight bit uncolored, which is not supposed to do that, but I think it's because I'm on the same layer as the thing I'm coloring, so it doesn't go under like it does when it samples from other layers. So he's using flash. He's going pew. Turn on the light effects. Shade that part in. Okay, another page done. Moving on. shadow layer. Mr. Freeze kills people to save his wife. Anti-villain. That one I can get behind. Kadu says, also the Patreon is totally going to fund me buying Pokemon Shield instead, just so you know. Yes! I support this decision. Do you have enough in there for it? Probably just to help out with it, right? I have to keep remembering not to use all of my Patreon funds that month, because technically the Patreon is supposed to also be covering my websites, which costs about $13 a month of savings to pay for all at once every 3 years, I think, is the contract. So like I should be saving $12 to $13 of it a month, but some months like October, when I went crazy and bought a fountain pen and ink, some months I just use all of it. Which is like, it's actually, you know, not a big deal at all, because I can just pull from my own account. But yeah, it's a great thing not having to worry about the expenses that the comic puts on, because of my lovely patrons. Which, okay, so tangent, or not tangent, but like off topic, or rather on topic. What am I saying? Segue. Real quick. So I'll make an announcement again at the end of the stream, but while you can, of course, join the Patreon, I am going on hiatus in December. Won't be closing the Patreon through December. I'll probably think of something to do. But most of my patrons are super special awesome, and like the last time I the last time I put on pause the actual Patreon, one of them like went and found my coffee and donated there anyways, so I'm like, okay. So I'll probably just leave it well and be, but in December I want to try and restructure some of the Patreon stuff. I want to, right now, if you look on the Patreon page, it's like I have some wolves drawn to represent the different tiers. I'm gonna see if I can turn those into rats, because there's big changes happening in my life coming soon. You could say I'm expecting. So yeah, wanna sort of tailor. I want to kind of lean into my interests a bit. I went with wolves the first time because of aesthetic, because I'm Zero the Red Wolf. That's just my, like, you know, I'm my brand, sort of. But I don't go by Zero the Red Wolf anywhere. And unless you know me from like my Gaia Online days, there's no real like reason why I'm Zero the Red Wolf. I don't really even use my avatar all that often for things other than just my icon, like my profile pic. So yeah, gonna do away with those wolfies. By the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm quite happy with how it came out, but the wolves are color-coded like Pokemon balls. From Zero the Red Wolf being a basic Pokemon ball, and then an Ultra Ball and a Great Ball. I think it's pretty cute. Mouse! Yes, Mouse! I wanted to grasp the mic when I said that. I'm getting so excited. She finally said yes after so many years. I don't even know how many years. When did I start, like, I wish I had recorded it somewhere to like know when it started, but like there's one summer I found all these YouTube videos of rats, and I realized that rats were the most amazing creatures on earth, and I wanted them. And my mom was like, no. No, we are not having rats in this house ever. That is no. And so throughout ever since then, like, I would go on these terrible, like, obsessive streaks where I would look up rat videos, ones that I've seen before, any new ones that I could find, like look up pictures, draw them obsessively until I can't handle it anymore. And then I ask my mom again. I'm like, can I please have pet rats? And she'll say no. And I'll start looking at like house listings and apartments in the area and like cringing at the price. And then I would, obviously not move out and get over it. And then the cycle starts all over again the next time I see a rat and like start looking up videos. But I finally convinced her. The way to my mother's heart was cold hard cash. And yeah, she's increasing my rent for them. But honestly, even with the increased rent, it's still cheaper than moving out. Like for reals. So I honestly can't complain. And the only other rule was that I can only have 2 and that they have to stay in my room. Like they cannot leave the room. Which I wasn't planning to take them out anyways, except like maybe outside for a walk. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the 2 rat rule, because if one of them dies and I have to get another one, almost every breeder insists that you like adopt them in pairs so that they have a friend they are familiar with, which would, if I'm doing the math right, leave me with 3 rats. So yeah, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But part of me, like the responsible part of me, kind of wants to say maybe I just shouldn't have them if I can't have more than 2. It just seems irresponsible, like to put whoever is left, whichever rat gets left behind. Or I could just go to the pet store and get one of those to fill in the gap. Who knows what will happen? But yeah, can't wait. It's gonna happen sometime 2020, I hope. First I gotta get a cage, and I gotta get toys, and make a playpen, set up, get food, bedding, litter. I gotta sign up for a breeder, wait until they actually breed a rat, and then drive out to collect. But it's so exciting. I'm already thinking of names. So, going back, I'm backtracking, guys. Sorry. I just remember that one time Mouse came to my stream and I started reading chat again, and she's like, I said that like 15 minutes ago. Is there a horrible lag? I'm like, there's a lag in my brain, maybe. Welcome to the Shield Brotherhood. Perma hat hair. Yeah, you can't have hat hair if your hair is the hat, or your hat is the hair. Chico says, buy a hat that's also a paraglider. Leonard says, sorry, I didn't mean to yell right into the mic. I'll sit back. Leonard says, I have a pilot hat with ear flaps that I love, but it's never cold enough to wear it. Oh, that's a mood. I have a hat like that too, but it's lined with real fur. that my dad had when he went to Antarctica. So I don't want to wear it because I don't want my gross head in it. Chico says villain implies 2019. Are you like compiling these? Are these gonna be t-shirts one day? Gavin says every time I see a pilot hat I just associate with Filthy Frank. I don't know who that is. Villain implies it comes from a village because thieves and killers can't be like us, the villaged rich people. It comes from Latin villanus, which means villager or farm. What? Really? What? What? I have never heard that before. That's such an interesting concept. Farmer. Chico says, I mean, farmers do have pitchforks. Hey. Tail says, how many pages done thus far? I'm on, I started on page 3. I'm on page 5. Ooh. That progress, man. Hold on, let me check in on my kid, make sure she's still alive. Okay, good. Hasn't burned down yet. How many pages? There are a few steps of being there are a few steps from being Satan. All my Patreon funds go to therapy copay. That's a good use of the funds. Yeah, there are like $45 in there. Wow. Only finally did first withdrawal today, so that's most of the way there to Shield. I think Nintendo games are too expensive. Who's with me, guys? $60 for 1-2 Switch. $60 for like Mario Party. $60 for I don't know any other games that are coming out. I don't know any other games. I'm really out of the loop when it comes to mainstream games right now. Oh, you leave your money in Patreon? I withdraw it automatically every month. Oh, really? Maybe I should set that up. I don't know. I should probably look into setting that up. But yeah, I'm getting my rats. Gender reveal party for the ratsies when? It's like, I really want boys, but I'm not sure if I can deal with the balls. They have such big cojones, you know? Me, a patron who never requests anything. Just offer requests on your Patreon. Colorful Chimera jumps in. Did someone say Gaia Online? Congrats! Canoe, I love that. Thank you. Fellow Deltas having my back here with the puns. Till says, Zero, when are you gonna make a rat sona? I don't want a rat. I don't want to be a rat. I just want to own rats. I want to care for them and love them. Zero, get on voice chat with me right now. What? We have to do a mutual scream. I don't know how to do that. I don't have that set up, Mouse. I'm sorry. Oh, but we'll scream later. I'm sorry. Like, you have to understand, on a Mac, it's a whole process to get to capture audio on stream. So like otherwise I would totally jump in right now and just but Colorful Chimera says, Zero, I will make you a rat sona. Zero, we have to scream. Zero. Oh, pet rant, that's fair. Chico says, hey, I mean, they don't let you replace them, right? 2 is enough for each other, right? It should be good, yeah. If you explain your situation, the breeders will be fine with it. Or you can adopt. Oh, that's true. I could do adoption. Wheeler says, I am returned. I wanted to do adoption for my first 2 rats, but they said breeders are better because they have better temperament, and like you can have one-on-one help with the breeder and all that. So even though the closest health, not health, what are they called? animal shelter that has rats is like 30 minutes away. I'm gonna be driving 2 hours to the capital to get my rats. Whee! But it's worth it. And I like car rides. 2 is fine for rats, I think. Yeah, it should be fine. It's just afterwards, you know. 0, I'm gonna send you a ton of rat stuff. Oh, I cannot wait. 0 is buffering. Please wait. I should have like a buffering thing that shows up when I'm like answering reading chat. That can like show up on screen. Some kind of like my rat thing that says stream is starting soon. I can have one that sort of loops on screen so you guys so anyone who doesn't have like audio on can know what's happening, I guess. And rip sorry to anyone who doesn't have audio on when I like take long breaks and don't do anything on the screen. The 2020 from the creators of No Rats in the House. This 20... How are they gonna do trailers in 2020? That doesn't sound like a very good... This fall, from the creators of No Rats in the House. One day, she'll come back to the present. You could say you have... jet lag! Ooh, that was a good one. You bet. T-shirt and hats. Tail says, cute clothes that aren't right for weather. Did you mean my whole wardrobe? Mouse says, aw, but 0, you didn't even tell me you got permission. I'm sorry, Mouse. I like posted it in general, and I basically just disappeared because I went to talk in the rats Discord server, and I just assumed everyone had seen it. I'm sorry, Mouse. Cadoo's like, my husband is 1,000% with you for Switch games being too expensive. He doesn't want us to buy Sword Shield new, which is why I have to use my Patreon bucks. Yeah! You're basically getting a huge discount. Nick says, I'm not gonna lie, 64 Sword was a lot. Leonard said, checking if the sleeping baby is still breathing is such a mood. Mouse said, I got Shield for $20. What? How did you do that? Chico says, I'm not sure if I get that last quote in a t-shirt, though. I got Sword for free? By that means my parents bought it for me. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So the audio is skipping a lot, but I heard something about going to the capital to get rats from a shelter. Oh, no. So, sorry the audio is bad. But basically, where I am in Northern Virginia, the closest, rattery, the closest... what's it called, breeder, is like 2 hours away in Richmond, which is the capital of Virginia, and I'm gonna be driving there to get rats, whereas the shelter is like 30 minutes away. Yeah, I hope that came through. 30 minutes to the shelter, 2 hours to the breeders. Which sounds like a road trip. OMG 0, please make a wish list for rat stuff. Oh, I have an Amazon wish list, just like, it's a private one, and it's not really like, a wish list, more like a, stuff I want to remember to get. I guess it was a wish list before when I couldn't even have rats. It was like, literally a wish, like definitely never gonna ever buy these, but boy do I wish I could. But now it's a legit, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna purchase toys. I was so sad because I was saying how I wanted all these wooden houses and toys and stuff, and the people over on the rat Discord were like, no, you don't. Wood stuff gets smelly real quick. You basically have to like throw them out very shortly after you get them. So there goes all my wooden aesthetic toys. I found literally like one bird ladder that is plastic. But Mouse, I'm so sorry. I thought you knew because I like posted in general. I was like screaming. So Louise says, so the audio, oh, okay, I read that. Unfortunately, $60 is just standard for video games no matter the system. Also, Nintendo is bad about making the remakes. $60. Because you can get them from the pet store. Some pet stores actually throw the rats they can't sell in the trash. Yeah, but it's like, if you buy the rat, they're just gonna get another rat from like some rat mill. And they're usually really bad, in terms of health and temperament. Like, you can't be sure where the rats are coming from or what their situation is. Sometimes they might be pregnant. I've heard like stories of people bringing home rats and like, whoops, now you have baby rats. So yeah, I don't know if I want to support that. It's like you're not really rescuing a rat if you buy from a pet store. You might be like, oh, I'm saving him from like this terrible situation, but yeah, you're just making room for another rat. You're telling the pet store that rats sell and that they should keep ordering more. You're like endorsing that. Of course, if that's the only way you can get rats, and you're not like a terrible person for buying your rats from a pet store, if you know that's just what's within your means. But it's kind of like a personal thing for me, I guess. I mean, you know, one rat is the same as the other. You can get feeder rats, and they make great pets. If they're not like, you know, terrible temperament wise. But you can also get like bred rats, I suppose, from like a bad breeder that have really poor temperament. So it's not a one or the other kind of thing. You still have to be discerning. I want to give you rat stuff for Xmas. Oh shucks. I think Mouse said, Mouse, you said you have like water bottles, right? From when you had a mouse. Were you gonna give those to me? I couldn't remember if you were holding on to those. Mouse, I hope you don't mind, but I'd like to send you a box of like newspaper. I hope that's not weird. But I've been collecting newspaper from our front door. Our like homeowners association thingy majig, whatever it's called, like sends newspapers, and my dad doesn't read them. So I've been collecting them in a box. Cause sometimes newspapers can come in handy if you want to do like paper mache or whatever. Mouse is like, yeah, send me newspaper. Okay, excellent. I'll send it to you with your poster. Mouse says, I can give them to you. Yay! Thank you, Mouse! You're the best! That's just one, again, it's like one more thing I don't have to buy. Let me see. My friend rescued a throwaway baby rat after the staff literally threw him in the bin because he seemed sick. It's terrible, but you know, it's the way of the rats. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love rats, but I'm also not one of those like, oh, rats are precious, rats are, don't hurt them. Like, they're still rats, and I'm okay with the idea that science uses rats in experiments, as long as it's not like terrible, stupid experiments, you know, or like just to be cruel. They're like legit science, okay? You know, I'm all for test it on a monkey before you test it on a human, sort of thing. You know, don't go implanting chips in your brain. Apparently some like rich guy had a computer chip implanted on his brain and like lost the ability to speak and had to be like recuperated, or that's not the right word. What's it called? Anyways, it's like people are so dumb. Wow. Shelter rats are actually in better living conditions than pet store ones. But, you know, shelter rats still have to be put down if they can't be adopted out, or if they can't they don't have any more space, you know. But they're definitely in better living conditions. It's just they're also coming, you know, from they're not there to just make money and like continue to buy more. You made the wish list before you have the rats. That's determination. Yeah, I had it way before I even had the the permission. That's the kind of man I am. I pretty much only use wood for my mouse toys. Oh, and you think it's okay, Mouse? Because like literally everyone's been telling me no wood, and it's made me very sad. And I'm talking about like things to climb over, like wooden bridges and stuff. Hides and things. Foxy says, okay, I'm back. Sorry it took so long. Welcome back, Foxy. We're talking about rats. Mouse says, I only used homemade toys. Way cheaper. I'm probably going to start collecting toilet paper rolls and like make stuff out of that. I don't know how or what I would make, but there's some like videos on YouTube. Tails is like, oh man, I always loved Newbie. I want this thing. Person who owns the pet, no, you freaking don't. No, you don't. Welcome back, Foxy. It doesn't make a difference in the long run, but it makes a difference to that single animal. It does. It does. So it's just where your priorities are, I guess. Like what you want to do, what you want to say with your money. Because definitely for that one animal, but also, again, for me, as a first-time rat user, it's also looking out for yourself, because the first time, if you get it from a pet store and they end up being like terrible, I've heard like horror stories of even just like the people who work at the pet store being horrible, like having terrible customer service, you know, like not taking you seriously when you say the rat has some problems that you're not equipped to deal with. Like, I think one person was saying how she got two rats from a litter from a pet store, and one of them seemed to have like some kind of mental health issue, like maybe it was like a neurological issue, because she was way smaller than her sister and being very aggressive. And she's like, I would love to work with and tame this animal, but I'm just not. I know what my abilities are, and she didn't want to be the one to do that, so she went to like return it, and the pet shop people were like, they just didn't take her seriously, and then they just like dropped it back into the same bin with the other rats without like, this was like a week after she had it, or like something like that, like quite a while. They just dropped it right back without any quarantine. I don't know, like I don't remember all the details, but she seemed very upset, and yeah, it seemed it's kind of scary. Like maybe my third or fourth rat I might get from a pet shop if there's no, like, shelter rats, you know? I'm not completely against the idea of going to a pet store and picking up a rat if that's my only option. But it's not my only option right now. And I kind of want to have a good first experience, you know? I want to learn how to do it before I take on a challenge. A pet store rat seems like level 3 kind of stuff. Which I'm not even good with dealing with children, let alone animals. Just because I really want it doesn't mean I'm any good at it. So I wanna sort of take it one step at a time, maybe. Wheeze says, she didn't pay for the rat, she got him from the bin. And she's a vet, so it was easy to neuter them. Mouse says, I can give them to you. I'll get together a box of stuff. Yay! Tails is like, let me buy you rat stuff. Yeah. Oh, I have such good friends. Name pitch. Ratstopher. Like Christopher, but rat. That's cute. Mouse says, but also you can shred newspaper into rat bedding. So IDK, if you'd want it for your guys. I don't know. I have a lot of newspaper. I think I'll send you what I have, since it's gonna be like a better part of next year before I can get them. I'll have plenty more newspaper by the time I get rats. But yeah. Do you use like a paper shredder machine, or do you just do it by hand? Sometimes I like to just color the whole thing in and then put highlights. Especially when it's supposed to be mostly dark. Maybe I don't know if this is a thing that is, but I kind of like how these spots are glowing back here, so I'm gonna make that one glow out too. Maybe a little on his nose there. Maybe a little down here so it's not like completely flat. Okay. Shoot. Using animals for research is one of the major reasons science has made incredible advancements. Leonard said, I agree, yes. Leonard says, so you're telling me new papers isn't specifically made for paper mache. Newspapers. Like, what else is it good for? Exactly. Tail says, please trust me, rich people are dumb. Gavin says, I like chickens. Mouse on Piano says, it was fine for me, but I also mainly kept girls. And rats might have different odors from mice IDK. My entire mouse community all made homemade toys out of popsicle sticks. Ooh. Foxy says, oh, Tails, can I ask you something? Gavin says, I'm probably gonna get mice myself. Mouse says, rat user. Hello, first time rat TM user. Before we start, you'll notice a small hole behind your rat TM trademark. Place an unfolded clip on it for 30 seconds to start your rat trademark configuration. You don't need to buy from a pet shop. 0. Getting from a breeder is the better thing to do objectively. Use a machine. Hand would take absurdly long. I've never shredded newspaper with a machine, but when I have to shred documents, oh boy is it dusty. Oh boy is it dusty. Good lord. Like, I would get respiratory infections from all the dust. I wonder if there's a way to, like, extract the dust. Because if there is, I need to get something that does that. Do 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 do. Mouse, now I feel really bad. I like legit just like feel really bad. I didn't realize you didn't know. Like I thought maybe, but like I don't like to tell people things that I am pretty sure that they probably already knew. And I couldn't remember because I was in such a daze when I like was screaming about it that I couldn't remember if you were also there. If you had like dropped in. Like I legit just I was in such a euphoria when it happened. Oh my goodness. I've decided to go with the Critter Nation cage because it has the full frontal doors. I think the Ferret Nation is like slightly cheaper, but I like the idea that the bars on the Critter Nation are horizontal so the rats can climb on them. I know mice are like pretty flat ground creatures, but rats are like more vertical, which was a surprise to me when I first found that out. They like to climb. Never thought of them as climbing animals. In fact, at one point I wanted to make a story about a squirrel that was like adopted by rats and was going to be like, oh, the squirrel could do things that the rats didn't do as well, like climb. Oh, you're telling me rats also climb a lot? Okay. Well, there goes my story idea. I'm out of ideas. Mice adore climbing too? Oh, okay. I didn't know. Like, it seemed like they were just more interested in running from like hiding spot to hiding spot. I have to admit I haven't done like that much looking into mice versus rats, but mice being like so much smaller, they have that higher sort of fear factor in them that it takes a little more patience and time to like trust train with them. And also the smaller the animal, just the more worried I get that I'm going to accidentally crush it to death. Oh, but is Nick still here? Changing subjects, I just remembered that I promised to explain to Nix what vectors were, and I forgot and talked about rats for the better part of the last half hour. Rats can't comb their tails. Neither can I, to be honest. Tails, you're being asked out on a date. Mice love climbing on stuff for fun, but yeah, mice adore interruption in their enclosure and lots of hiding spots and burrows. Oh yeah, IDK what vectors are. Okay, so oh, rats can't comb their tails in terms of like squirrels. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Squirrels do have that advantage. Okay, so I'm gonna take a break, guys, and from drawing, and I'm gonna do a little education segment. This part of the show is brought to you by the letter Z. I don't know. But Nix, okay, so I've always been really shocked that you don't use vectors in your art because it just looks like that's what you're doing, even though I know that's not what you're doing, because you've explained that it isn't. Hold on, I need to fix this boy's face. Okay. So, do you see how when I'm drawing, and if I zoom in, it looks crunchy? It gets like really crunchy, and you can see these little parts here, like right here where it's not pure black. It's like slightly gray and it's kind of fading out and it's all over the place. And then if I draw a small circle like right here, and then I take that circle and I transform it up, it gets all fuzzy like this. You see that? So this happens because what we're dealing with right here are raster images. And a raster image is made out of pixels. It's basically you're painting with pixels as your pigment. Okay? It's pretty analog. Vectors are the opposite of that. They're math. They're made out of numbers. The computer generates them. And the only way I know how to explain it is in Illustrator. So let me pull up Illustrator real quick. I'm going to make a new document. I don't know what size that is. Let me just make a new document. Ooh, that's bright. Sorry, guys. Okay, so in Illustrator, you have the pen tool. This thing right here. There's a brush tool too, but I don't know what that does. But the pen tool creates vectors. This is can you see it? This is what it looks like. It's like a little, for some reason it looks like a little dip pen nozzle. And when I tap, it creates a dot. And I don't know if you can see it, but when I tap again, it creates it colors it in. Okay. So I don't know if I can zoom in. You can't really see it when I zoom in, but you see that little point there? That little point? This thing? It's dark, and then this one over here is light. Oh, you can't really see it. But there's these little points, and they're these are the vectors. And with the vectors, I can actually move it around. And do you see this blue line? You can't see it. Hold on. Do you see that blue line? Okay, that's the vector line, and the computer will then generate a line on top of it. And you can increase the stroke to make it thicker. You can decrease the stroke to make it thinner. You can change the color of it at any point. It's basically all made out of data. And if I zoom in, no matter how far I zoom, well, it doesn't let me zoom any further, but it's basically gonna keep its quality. It won't get crunchy. If I take this, scale it down, scale it up, it just kind of expands the line instead of distorting the pixels. So what we're saying is we're surprised that you don't use vectors, because you can draw very perfect lines by managing vector points and anchor points. So these things right here coming off of it are anchor points, and at any time you can go back and change it. So if you want a slight angle shift, you can go in, you can adjust very easily. Do you want it to be thicker? Well, you can select everything, make it thicker. Do you want to fill it with a color? Well, go ahead. You can select a color and fill it. I don't know. You can select that and move it over here now. It won't distort the quality of the thing. And that's basically what your work looks like. And I feel like this would make your life so much easier. This is Illustrator. And Illustrator I have no use for, but back before I had a tablet that I could draw on the screen, I basically would sketch by hand on paper, scan it in. Let me see if I can do an example. like, I guess a better sketch would be this one. So I would take this, right? Copy. I would, oopsies. How do I go to Illustrator? There's Illustrator has levels, layers too, so I can turn that layer off, make a new layer, paste, lock this layer, make a new layer, and I would go in with my pen tool, and my mouse. I had a clicky mouse or my touchpad, since I couldn't control the brush very well, and I would go in and just trace basically. How do I? There we go. And you see this? You see how this is like round? Well, I can, hold on, how do I? Sorry, it's been so long since, hold on. It's been so long since I've used Illustrator, I'm forgetting how to do it. There's a way to, there we go. There. Look at that. Look at that sharp point. That nice sharp point. And then you can sort of pull them. While you're using the pen tool, you can also tap on it to cancel the what's it called? The anchor point. So like, you see how, I don't know if you can see, gosh, sorry guys. You see how there's an anchor point going here and one going there, and the vector's in the middle? If I click on the vector, it gets rid of that anchor point. So instead of continue on in a path like that, it will stop and then make a sharp turn. Then I can increase the stroke. I can I can add anchor points. So if I click here, I can do add anchor point tool, which is the T. So I click T, I click there, I added an anchor point, and then I can subtract an anchor point, and it cuts it down to there. And now if I wanted to, I can like do add, and then subtract this one. Oops, no, that's not how you do it. Direct select, get rid of, and I've cut that in half. And that's how I could like get things to go on top of, like, you know, something on top. So like, those are vectors, Nix. I hope your program has something like that. Oops. Because I think that would, oops. I think if you can learn how to use vector points, that would be really cool for your art. It would probably save a lot of time, hopefully. Okay, so I do want this one to be slightly round, so I'm gonna like pull this one very close and this one a little down. Oops. They used vectors to teach us how the difference between the select tool and the direct select tool. I don't know why this one is, I think it's not connected. Well, as with anything, it's a tool that you can use, and if you don't use it, you're not good at it. And since I don't use it anymore, I'm not sure what all of the functions are anymore. I like have fallen out of practice, but it's really neat. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, so going back up the chat so I can talk and see what y'all are doing. There's a rat community living in the palm trees in the median strip of a street near my house. Oh. I hope they don't get into your house, Leonard. Whenever I tell people around me that I want pet rats, they always say, you should go to New York. And I'm like, no, those are wild rats. I don't want those in my house. They will bite me. I want the domesticated kind. That's like saying, I want a dog. Okay, then go pick up a coyote. Louise says, oh, and hey Zero, if you're really serious about having a rat, be aware that they're very fragile. People usually think of them as they could stand everything because, well, they're rats. But once they get sick, they get sick. They are very prone to tumors, and in rats, they grow from a pea to a golf ball in one day. Oh no, what? I knew they got tumors easily, but they grow so fast. Oh dear. That's another reason why I kind of want boys over girls, because I heard the girls tend to get tumors more frequently, is what I've heard. But I know boys can get them too. And I know that they only live like 2 to 3 years, 4 if you're lucky. So I fully understand that they will not be around forever. But you know, they're just, I still want and I will be sure to have a vet bill, and I will try and find a vet that's in the area that I can take them to. In case something like that happens. I just don't like, it's hard to make the decision of, do you do surgery on a rat, you know, because they're so short-lived. It's really, it comes down to money, I think, in the long run. So I need to get myself into the mentality of, like, this money is for vet bills, and if something happens, I should pay for their recovery, rather than, oh, they're only gonna, you know, be around for another year even if they do survive, so why bother? It's a hard decision. Leonard says, instead of drawing it pixel by pixel. That's so cool. What program is this? Yeah, no, I've never seen that. I feel like that would make my life easier. It's so good. I don't actually know where that would be in Clip, unfortunately. So Clip has a thing called Draw Vector, I think, or the Vector Brush, where you draw and it basically looks like, oopsies. Where you draw and it basically looks like this, but you zoom in and it's actually a vector. And that's not usually what I use vectors for. So it's, I don't know. I'm sure they have some kind of vector placing tool-ish, but I haven't really found the need to look for it since I never really work in vectors anymore. But definitely for your style, that would be a time saver if you can learn how to use that, I think. Like, again, it's still gonna be a learning curve. There's, you know, probably changes to the tool since I used it last, because that was what, like, high school was, wow, over 2 decades ago. No, just 1 decade. I'm not that old. Like a decade ago, and Photoshop has changed a lot since then. I'm sure Illustrator has too. it's funny, like, based on the name, you would assume Illustrator would be much more intuitive for illustration. But I actually don't know what it's for, to be perfectly honest. I used Photoshop for illustration, and I used InDesign for design work. So it's like, what's Illustrator for? It's got great shape tools. It's great for vector work. But it's just not very intuitive. In any case, thank you for showing me. You're welcome, Nix. I hope it's helpful. I need to see if my program can do that. Yeah, see if it can place vector points. If you couldn't see, they're like basically a little square on the end, and then a line that comes out of it. And the square, when you click on it, it turns black to say that it's selected, and then you can move it around. You have two cursors in in an art program like Photoshop. One is the black one, like it's colored in. That's just the select tool, and you can use that to move full objects and stuff, like in Illustrator. You can move the entire path. Or you have the direct select tool, which is a white cursor, and that will let you select the individual vector points. The direct select tool is how you select the individual points. If you use the normal black select tool, you can only move the whole object. Sorry if that made no sense. Leonard has to go. Leonard says, bye, Zero, Moni, Tails, Weza, Pokemon Master, Chico, and Foxy. Is Moni supposed to be Mouse? Or I think. And anyone else I'm forgetting. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for coming. And thank you for all the Sorry, there's so many of you talking. Were you the one, like, I'm sure you said something fun about rats, and thank you for asking about the movies and all that. And have a good night. Moni? There was definitely times I elected not to do surgery on a mouse because it wasn't worth it for their species. Yeah, it's like, at what point? I just don't know, like, I think I might, like, talk to a mouse. I might talk to, like, the people on the rat server to see, like, you know, just to see if I'm being stingy or if I am making the right choice, you know? Like, if I decide not to do surgery, is it because I don't want to spend the money, or if I just think that it's the right thing, like, it's not going to be worth it for the species, like you said. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that part yet. It's kind of sad that with small animals like rats and mice, you have to think about the end before you, even while you're, like, thinking about the beginning, because they're so short-lived. So cool. I'm making sandwich right now. Good. Get that food. Wheeler says, I think Illustrator was the one good for design work before InDesign was a thing. It's possible, yeah. Because I used to think that Illustrator was good for design, and then people were like, no, there's InDesign. I'm like, I've never heard of that before. Oh no, Nick says, I don't think my program has it. That's a shame. They should definitely add it. Mouse said, however, rats get benign tumors much more than they get cancer, so surgery is much more viable choice for them. There's also more likely to survive anesthesia than mice. I see. Just because of their size, or like their what's that word that you roll for constitution, their constitution. If the rat gets like a benign tumor, is that like cause to not get surgery because it's gonna be benign, or is that the better cause to get surgery? I'm not really sure what the call here is. Because of size, okay. It's a lot more common to neuter rats than mice because of survivability. Gotcha. Yeah, the idea of neutering something that small is also just kind of like doing any kind of surgery on something that small makes me nervous. No, benign means it won't grow back once it's... Oh, I understand. Okay. Sorry, I'm not good at the science terms. Thank you for explaining to me. Rats have massive testicles. They sure do. Malignant tumor, it means cancer, and it's pointless to remove those surgically because they'll just grow back. Mice get malignant tumors like 95% of the time. Rats are 95% benign. I understand now. So, like, doesn't make sense to if your rat has cancer, probably don't spend the money on surgery when it's gonna be super expensive and it'll probably just grow back. And it's not like humans where you'll just keep doing, you know, you'll obviously just keep paying for it because, like, you know, they live so short anyways. Yeah, that makes sense. I've assisted a few neuterings, and the anesthesia and procedure is quick and easy in rats. Cats are harder for me. So there's this campaign movement thing that I can't remember what it's called, but it's where people live catch stray cats, neuter them, and then they cut off the tip of one of their ears so that it's like a flat tag, like just a flat no tip of the ear, and then they release them back into the wild because like feral cats apparently can pretty much survive all right on their own. They just don't want them to breed, and they can't like house all the feral cats in shelters, or they would have to like start dispatching them. So they like tag and release so that the cats can continue to live in their societies and their like wild environments, but at least they won't like spread. They wouldn't, you know, make more cats out in the wild, because it's not actually really good to have them in the wild. But I saw that on YouTube and I was like, oh, what a cool concept that probably happened somewhere in the world, in a part that like I'm not a part of, you know. And then the other day I was at the auto shop, and my engineer had like been adopted by a cat. Like a stray cat just started living in his shop because he had fed it, and it had an ear tag. It had like the tip of its ear off, and I was like, oh, I know what that is. I've seen that. Louisa, do you like work at a veterinary clinic? Are you a vet? I I did a school project once where you have to shadow a professional for a week, and I did a vet where I kind of like just stood in a corner and took notes while I watched them do actual stuff like regular checkups and surgeries. I watched him take like this ginormous tumor out of a dog. That was like the grossest thing I had seen up to that point, probably. I don't remember if that was before or after I had to dissect the sheep's eyeball. The sheep's eyeball was probably the grossest thing I've ever seen. It had like its eyelid was still on it. But yeah, so that like I've seen some operations, but it's been so long ago. I don't even remember what school year that was. At one point they had a cat wake up from surgery and it just started screaming and it would not stop. This cut in the ear doesn't seem the best idea. I've seen some places tattoo the neuter symbol on their bellies. It's the very top tip. I don't know if it would affect them much in the long run, but yeah, a tattoo seems like a good idea too, I guess. Mouse says I once wrote a research paper on why we should just eradicate feral cats instead of trap, neuter, release. Yeah, cats are really not good for the environment. Louisa says a cut ear. Any cat can cut their ear. No, but like it's very unnatural. It's like that. You know, like very flat, the very tip, you know, is just I guess technically any cat could get something like that. I don't know. I didn't come up with the system. Apparently it works. I don't know if it works or not. Very few cats can tattoo themselves. I'm a vet student. I'll graduate next semester. Huzzah! And you're you've seen like rat neuters, so like you're qualified as a exotic pet vet, I believe. would that be true? I can imagine. I have a picture of a huge sheep eyeball in the palm of my hand, like that Labyrinth movie, where there's this creature whose name I can't remember with goat legs. The goat legs guy's name is, well, I don't know if he has a name, but he's called the Pan, I think. And the guy with the eyeballs in his hands is called the Pale Man. And yeah, that's scary stuff, man. It's scary stuff. Stuff right out of nightmares. Freaky things waking up and lumbering towards you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I can't watch scary movies though, so I haven't seen it, but I've seen plenty of like video analysis of it, movie reviews, and just video essays talking about it. Apparently, it's a really good movie. I was supposed to be thinking about the last movie I've seen. I think the last movie I've seen in theaters was the Detective Pikachu movie. I might have seen another one after that, but I honestly cannot remember. Have I watched anything online recently? I can't say that I have. So it might have to be the Detective Pikachu movie. next year, I'm really looking forward to the Sonic movie. Like, unironically, I want to see this movie. He looks so good now. I can't believe it. So yeah, if I see one movie next year, it's gonna be the Sonic movie. Honestly, I watch so many video essays on movies, and I watch so many reviews of movies that it's hard to keep track of what I've actually seen and what I've just heard of. Generally speaking, I only go to see movies when I'm invited to. It's like a social event for me. It's not really, if I just want to see the movie to like experience it, most likely I'll like buy the DVD or like watch it online somewhere. Master Wheeler's like, I've seen Joker. He's that new Smash Brothers character, right? Gavin says, I'm back from sandwich making. What kind of sandwich is it, Gavin? What's in your sandwich? Louisa says, you haven't seen Joker? Nah, I haven't seen Joker. Master Wheeler approves of my Detective Pikachu shenanigans. Also, congrats on your graduation, hopefully soon, Louise. And, yeah, of course, Wheeler. That's the right Joker. Honestly, Wheeler, I don't know anything about Joker, the character from Persona 5, because I've never played any of the Persona games. But he plays pretty well in Smash. I do like, dare I say it, I might enjoy playing Joker more than Banjo. Oh, blasphemy, I know. But yeah, while Banjo I love because of nostalgia and like because of what it represents to me as for my childhood. Just playstyle wise, I like the sudden boost of power and the knock 'em dead attitude of Joker. And Joker's world is pretty cool. I like the aesthetic. Let me check on my kid and make sure nothing's breaking down. Roast beef open sandwich. Nice. Did you roast the beef? I got myself a jar of sun-dried tomatoes. Like the first time I got a jar of sun-dried tomatoes, the only complaint I would have of it was that I had to like cut them into strips because they were too big. And then the second time I got them, I found out you can just buy them pre-julienned. So I got myself that, and it's so good. It's like the brand has a different flavor too. It's slightly less sour, slightly more sweet. It's so good on like some garlic bread. I want some right now. Spread some, like you cut a baguette into a little square. You just smear on some butter, drizzle on some of that garlic powder, and then stick a slice of that tomato right on top. Or the Joker movie. Oh, me either. I just know he has a gun. I know that feel. I have Pikachu as this is my childhood and entire being, but Hero is more fun to play as. Oh, really? You like Hero? I can't get into Hero. I can't figure out his like. It's too complicated. Tails, do you play Smash Brothers? Have you tried Hero? Cause he seems very much like a Sora kind of JRPG character. I wonder if you like playing as it. Which hero is your favorite? Which hero? Man, so all of y'all who are in school right now, I just want to send you my hopes and prayers because crunch time is coming on. A lot of people at our school is already like starting to die. A lot of tears already going on. I hope you guys can take some time off this Thanksgiving to like eat something nice and just hype yourself up for the final stretch. I think we have 2 more weeks after Thanksgiving break. Before finals. Though with the art program at our school, our finals kind of happens the week before finals, like for the rest of the school. Because the seniors have their senior like gallery show with all their work that they've been working on all semester as their thesis. So most of the other classes like to try and get their critiques done the week before so that the whole building can be free to use for the show. And then like the rest of the school the week after like has their final essays and tests going on. Nick says Tails plays Pikachu and Sonic. I like playing the one with the bandana. I think I know which one you're talking about. Gavin says I play Mr. Game & Watch, and I'm too cheap to buy the new DLC characters for now. Gavin, you're like a kid. Just ask your parents to buy them. they're like $25. Don't you have that in like a piggy bank somewhere? I'm pretty sure my brother does. I have literal piggy banks like that are little pigs, and I collect like my coin change in them. I get a nice sum whenever they're filled up. But like, has Tails tried the hero? Like, does she like them? In terms of just usability, is it fun at all? For the longest time I tried to like duck hunt, because I'm like, if we're never gonna get Banjo-Kazooie in this game, Duck Hunt's gonna be my closest shot at playing a bear and a bird. But Duck Hunt's a little bit of a weird character. I mean, like, play-wise, it's weird. I kind of like King Dedede. I used to play him a lot. I liked I like that he hits hard, but is, like, slow. Cause that kind of makes it a little difficult to connect the hits. Because I'll want to swing my hammer, but he like does this heavy long swing, this long build up. But it felt so satisfying when it actually connects. And I've never been much good at like dodging. It's really hard to play against human players if you don't dodge, like at all, like ever. I never dodge. I only dodge when there's nothing to dodge, because I get hit by something, remember that there's dodging, dodge for no reason, and then get hit by something again. That's how I play Smash Brothers. My main is essentially Yoshi. I used to be really good at it, and when I say really good, I mean my friends weren't good at anything, and I could beat them all the time. I'm not actually good at it in that I can like effectively use any of his moves, or his like high air, or his recovery. It put me against an actual player, and like I'm not good at any of them. Though for a split moment, I was actually good at Sonic one time when I was playing against my sister and my brother, and I just kept running really fast back and forth, and they couldn't hit me. And then I'll like dash in, jab at them, and then dash away. And I felt like so skilled. This was like the most skilled I had ever been at anything in my life. I was like, yeah! Of course, eventually I kind of have to start losing, because if I win too many times against them, they'll stop playing with me. Because they get like upset. It's no fun losing, you know? Like, I mean, some people can have fun just playing for the fun of it. But there are other people, and it's not a right or wrong thing, it's just different personalities, I think. Some people enjoy a game when they win at the game. I think I'm one of those people most of the time. My enjoyment mostly comes out of other people's enjoyment. If someone else is enjoying themselves, I will swallow a loss, because what feels worse than like winning is seeing someone else upset that like they didn't. And it's good because I'm usually bad at a game, so I don't actually have to pretend to lose. Usually I'm actually losing, especially at like cards or Mario Party. I can like try pretty hard at a Mario Party and still lose. But yeah, like the number of times my sister's just been like, "Oh, I can't. I hate this." It just makes me feel bad. It's like, I'm sorry you're not having a time. Let's see. Nick says, I play like Mewtwo. I play Ike. I said like a Mewtwo. Ike, Mewtwo, and Incineroar. Master Wheeler says, I got a little ease in that I don't have to take a final. Oh, a little ease in that I don't have to take a final. Are you doing like a certificate study? Nyx is like, or Peach if I'm goofing off. Ka-chow! Wheeler says, there are 4 exams and the lowest is dropped. Oh, nice. And my average for the exams is currently 105. Whoa! Good job, Master Wheeler. Showing us all up. So I don't have to take the final. Art school is so much fun. I've seen some YouTube videos being some of the thesis. Yeah. Sometimes you get some pretty funny stuff. the animations that come out of CalArts is amazing. Like, they put those on Tumblr every year, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Gavin says, next time I get an eShop card for Switch, I will get them. eShop card. Oh, like a gift card. Okay. Nick says, I don't think she's tried the Hero, to be honest. Wheeler says, oh yeah, the fun thing about Hero is those down B smells are definitely very confusing. Isn't there one that, like, is basically you, like, self-destruct? Nick says, Tails is all about the speed. You gotta go fast! Gotta go fast! Louise says, my thesis, which is due in 3 days, is a 30-page review on hereditary eye disease in the dog. Whew! Followed by a 20-minute presentation of the same subject, and I'm nervous as all hell. I'm sorry, Louise. Best of luck to you. I'm sure you'll do great. Just, you know, do what I never did and practice the presentation. I hated practicing presentations. Master Wheeler says, so if you get it down... If you get it down, you confuse and surprise everyone else with how crazy they are. My favorite is that the sleep spell can put people to sleep mid-air, so I've had people jump at me, put them to sleep, and have them fly over my head. That's awesome. That sounds hilarious and amazing. I also, like, terrifying. I never want to play against someone who's good at Hero now. What in the world? Okay. My favorite is that okay. Oh yeah, if Tails likes speech, you'll hate Hero. He's really slow. I can say hella. I'm practicing, you guys. He's hella slow. Ooh, that tastes weird. Louise says, I love how you said, I never dodge because, and I thought you were going to share a secret strategy and you went with, because I always forget I can dodge. Oh. Yeah, I'm never gonna have a secret strategy. I'm no good at that kind of stuff. I love playing games, but I'm usually not very good at games. Nick says, if Hero's slow, she won't touch it. I'll be fighting like Bowser. Gavin says, probably the worst player amongst my friends in Smash. You are? Wheeler says, and he'll run across the stage and smash me in the time it takes Hero to swing his sword. What? Oh no. Kamikaze! It's fun when you're a stock ahead and get the Kamikaze KO with Hero. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how to use most of the players, so I think whenever I play, I just, like, select a new fighter every round. I haven't gotten to the point where I can be like, I'm good at this character. I'm currently trying to finish World of Light, and I can't beat... I forget which spirit it is, but it's like the one... Oh gosh, it's like the one where it's a few villagers and, a sheik, I think. And they're on a train. I can't remember which spirit it is. But I fought that thing for like hours and I still haven't beaten it. I'm so mad. And like M. Bison... I still haven't beaten M. Bison. I think it's M. Bison. It's the Ganon one. Why are they so hard? Why? This is Smash Brothers. The story mode should be easy. I can't remember. I think I might have put it on normal. Let's see. Do you guys like to play stock or time? And if you play stock like you're supposed to, how many lives do you usually put? I tend to play with 3 stock only. I feel like any more or less just doesn't... Like, if it's too many, it kind of gets boring. But if it's not enough, 2 seems like not enough to me. It's not enough to both, like, lose and then have a comeback before you panic, you know? With 2 stock, it's basically you're in and you're already down. You already feel like you're gonna perish. 3 at least gives you that buffer of, okay, I'm okay as long as I still have 3. Okay, now I have 2. I should probably, you know... Nyx says I play time usually, so it's more of a surprise who wins. Wheeler says it's fun when you're a stock. Oh, okay. I used to play time a lot actually. As a kid, it would always be time. I didn't start playing stock until the like boys came over and like would always play that way, and I was like, what? Because honestly, like, most of the time when I was a kid and I played Smash, it was, let's go to Hyrule Castle and just mess around and until the timer runs out. And if it was, like, stock, it's like the game never ended because we wouldn't really fight each other. Hyrule Castle was always one of my favorite worlds. Do you guys have a favorite world? I haven't played much Smash Brothers lately, so I can't remember what the new worlds are like. I think I liked what's it called? The Animal Crossing one, the Tortimer's Island. I kind of there are some that I tell myself I need to like the Wind Waker one, the ship, because it's Wind Waker. Like, how can I not like Wind Waker content? I like the Tomodachi Life one. That one's nice and chill. Like I said earlier, the Joker one's pretty neat. All about speed. Gotta go fast. Always plays Pokemon stages. Okay, so I know there's Pokemon Stadium 2. There's the one with Palkia and Palkia and Dialga, where they like flip it upside down and stuff. I think there's that new one with like the fire. What is it? It's like I don't know. I've only played on it like once. It's like different elements would come up in 2 pillars on 2 sides of the screen, and like depending on the element or whatever, like if it was fire type, then these fire tornadoes would come down, and if it was like I don't know, steel, it would be like steel balls. I don't remember. Okay. I don't know why this leg is giving me so much trouble. I think the top of it should probably catch more light. It's like the foreshortening angle because it's going back in space. So I don't know where it is. I did not think about anatomy when I drew this pose. I was just thinking about the pose. But it is now 10 o'clock. And I'm on page 7 out of 17. So I have 10 more pages to go. I think I'm going to finish this page and I'm going to, well, maybe I won't finish this page. I'll finish this panel. It's a ninja. He's coming for ya. He's coming with a vibe check. I'll finish this one panel and then, we can finish off the stream. Because I started at 7:30, it's 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. Yeah, that's about 3 hours. And yes, I do have to count to 3 on my fingers. Like a baby. I learned, well, I think I learned the numbers in sign language the other day because we have a deaf student, who comes to our shop sometimes. And I always feel bad because I can't even, like, tell her how much something costs in, like, by holding up fingers. It's like, I feel like I should at least have that level of ASL under my belt. I went to public school. They taught us that. So I looked it up. And it's 1 with your pointer finger, 2 with your like a peace sign, and then 3 is your thumb. I knew that. 4 goes to back to your fingers. 5 is open high five. And then I think, shoot, I don't remember. I think 6 is like you touch your thumb to your pinky. I can't remember if it's your pinky, if it starts from your pinky or if it starts from your pointer and then you count, like, touch your thumb to your pinky and then you touch your thumb to your ring finger, middle finger, and then index. And so she came by, like, literally right after I looked that up, and I'm like, oh boy, I get to, like, show her that I'm not a moron. And I had to tell her the letter, the number 8. I had to sign the number 8, or I didn't have to. I could have just, like, held up a 5 on one hand and 3 on the other hand, you know, like a moron. But I tried, and I can't count to 8. I can't count to 3 without counting on my fingers, because I was like, okay, which finger of my 4 fingers is the third one? Is it my index finger? I know it's not the index finger. Is it my middle finger? Oh, there's too many fingers. I can't tell. So I had to, like, count. I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 8. I felt so dumb, but I think she got a laugh out of it. It was fun. Nick says, I think that's the Elite 4. IDK which one it is, though. Good news. I finally finished. Good news. Foxy, I hate to, like, take advantage of Tails' server, but if you drop it in Tails' server, I'll come look at it. Because that's the only space that I know that we share. You can, like, if you could drop a link in the chat too, so everyone can see it. Pinky is 6. Like a moron. Yeah, I gotta do the same. Gotta start at pinky and go 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Oh, so I might have gotten it wrong. I think I counted from my index. I don't know. In any case, it was fun. I need to keep practicing. I think it's one of those things where it's like in Chinese, if I'm trying to say numbers, I have to count. Because I know what they are in sequence, but I can't like just pull it out of my head. But in English, I know, oh, that's 8. I don't have to say, okay, what's 2 down from 10? I have to go 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. I don't have to do that with English because it's just ingrained in my brain. But for something like Chinese or like Spanish, I have to like go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, like usually the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is I have down, but past that I have to like count to it. I think I only know a few in Japanese because of anime. You got the Ichi ni San. Ichi ni San Shi? Is she 4? Ichi ni San Shi. I don't know what 5 is. So I know oh, go. 5 is go, right? Or is that, I don't know. I'm pretty sure 5 is, so it's Ichi ni San go, San Shi go. Because okay, so the reason I know, I definitely know that go is 5 because in Bleach, the main character's name is Ichigo, and it means strawberry, but it's also a pun if you say it means 15, because it's Ichi, which is 1, and then go, which is 5. Oops. So, yeah, thank you, anime. It's educational, mom. And then in Chinese, I know, I could probably count up to 100 just because it's so like, sequential. It's like basically the same thing the whole way through. In Spanish, I only know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then I don't know what 20 is. So I know up to 20. And then in Chinese, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I always got a laugh because in Chinese, 10, which is 10, has kind of the same sound as shi, which is poop. And so I would always be like, poop, Like if you say it just wrong, just the wrong way, you're saying the wrong word, and you don't want to be saying that word. Nick says, I don't think Tails will mind. Louisa says, yes. Wait, what are you saying yes to? Pokemon Master Wheeler says, I'ma know Ichi ni San real well. Because each part of the new Pokemon theme is that. Oh, really? Ichi ni San Shi go Roko? Sit? Hat? Kill? Duo? I don't even... I have not heard these words. Let me try to pronounce them in Japanese if I can. Roko in like how they don't even look like Japanese words. Would that be hate? That was not my SpongeBob laugh. My SpongeBob laugh is like does this weird like gargle in his throat. Do as in two, but with a D. Do. And then is it hachi? Hachi is 8, right? Shite hachi hil do. I don't know. I'm ready to finish this stream. Okay, I think that's that. I accidentally did a little of the next panel. So I'm gonna stop working on this comic here. We're gonna do a little doodle. A doodle! What should I draw, you guys? Ichi, ni, san, shigo, roku, shiichi, hachi, kyo, ju. Ju. Yeah, it's so hard to. I can actually write some of the Chinese. I think it's E, R, san, si, wu, liu. I don't know what chi is. Ba. I don't know what Joe is. And then sure. What do you guys want to see me draw? Give me your favorite Pokemon from Gen 6 or 7. I wanna see if I wanna have a challenge today. Draw something from one of the newer generations from memory and have a good laugh. Draw Terriermon. Terriermon. Yes, the dog from the movie Hachi. Hachiko meant little 8. Was he like the 8th puppy? Oh, Mouse used to study Japanese. There is a certain way that you have to write the romanji for, is it called romanji when you, like, use letters? There's a certain way that you have to write the romanticized version of Asian words to make it sound right in my head. Like, to properly vocalize it. I like the psychic cats and Poplio. Okay, psychic cats and Poplio. Poplio, I'm gonna start with the nose, because that's one thing I know about Poplio. I'm gonna give him a neck frill, because I think he has one of those. Oh, hold on. I think Poplio has this thing going on. It might be the evolution. But, I'm pretty sure it has one of those things, and, I don't like the pose, actually. Okay, I think I like that a little bit better. Still gonna give him these things, because I just feel like maybe he has them for some reason. And, he is gonna have a white face here. Oh no, his nose is white. His mouth too? Okay, and then he's blowing a big old snot bubble, as you do. Okay. Big old soap snot bubble. And inside we're gonna put little Mob Psycho cat. Does Esper have a tail? I think he has fur on the chest, maybe. Maybe fur on the side of the head. Something's missing. Something's missing with the Esper. I don't know if he has a tail. I'm gonna make him a little bigger, even though you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to, but I'm gonna. Man, I was beat by Foxy. Foxy's finished her drawing like ages ago. I haven't done anything today except some shading. But I'm gonna stay up a little after the stream. I'm gonna try and finish all the shading, at least most of the shading today. Because, my sister's coming home tomorrow. And she's bringing back the Switch. So, she's had the Switch for a long time now. And I think it's time for me to have a turn, and I don't know if I'm gonna have the self-control to work on my comic tomorrow night. So I'm gonna stay up as long as I can tonight to get it done. I'd say 7 pages is decent. I did a lot of talking, I think. I paused quite a bit, so that didn't help. Maybe afterwards I'll do some work packs with anyone who's available. Should probably get something to drink. Oh, I have water here. Okay. Louisa says, wait, let me go back up a little. Sorry. Colorful Chimera says Salazzle is rad. I'm not a big fan of Salazzle. I'll give it a try though. It sounds like an interesting one that I've never I'll never have a reason to draw Salazzle except for this, so I'll give it a shot. Master Wheeler says, nah, minus one or two things that this is flawless. Poplio are hard to pose. That reason is because they do wiggly. Oh, the hands. They do have the hands. Now just one thing. You. Poor Esper. I'm the Poplio expert. Okay. Hold on. What am I missing? Hold on. Just one thing. Wait, let me finish reading the chat, see if I actually got the thing later on. Hair tuft. Oh, that's Esper. Hold on. You, poor Esper in the Poplio. I'm the Poplio expert. Don't know about Esper. Esper has this hair tuft. Yes, they have tails. Tails? Like multiple? Oh, you mean like they, as a collective, have tails as a concept. Okay. I'd say 7 pages is decent. That'd be 1 page away from finishing everything I need for a month. I'll work back with you. Thanks, Nix. Please let me know if you want to know what you missed. I'm working on it. Hold on. One tail. Yes. It's pretty minor, so stylistically you may have skipped it. Gosh. Minor. Let me meditate. Bring the Poplio. Does he have whiskers? Are they here or here? I think they're up there. Master Wheeler, tell me I'm not wrong. Yes, I got it. Oh yeah. Is it? I know my starters. I don't actually know my starters. Let's see. So, poor little Esper has a hair tuft is on top of its head, I believe. That's where I would put hair tufts. I feel like it goes down. It goes like down on his forehead, I think. And if it doesn't, I'm just gonna say he's like wet from the bubble. Okay? And you're all gonna believe me. You're all gonna believe me! And then, okay, so here comes the trouble, though, okay? Because now I have to draw the other 2 cats, whom I don't know, and I have to draw them, and they have to be, like, they're distinctive. And I have to get all of them, all of the like, the details. Oh my goodness. Okay, so, something like that. I'm gonna go easy on myself and give them silly eyes, so I don't have to do, like, the difference between the eyes, because their eye shapes are also different. One has, like, cool boy eyes, and one has seductive eyes, I think. And then they basically have bunny ears. Have you ever thought about how the Meowsticks have basically bunny ears because they, like, flop so low? I don't know if it's because of the season, but this song that I have playing is giving me, like, Christmas vibes. Has it, like, ever given you guys Christmas vibes in the other months? Or can you not even hear the music? Because it's possible I have the music so low that you guys can't even hear it. Okay, so what am I doing? So I have spiky fur and spiked up hair. And what does the tail look like? Hold on. Notice how I haven't clarified if I'm drawing the boy or the girl. They're gender dimorphic, right? Like the difference is because of the gender. There's one Pokemon that I always thought was gender, but is actually like based on something else. I think it might be Wurmple. I think as a kid, I always thought it was girls evolved into Beautifly and boys evolved into Dustox. And then I found out they didn't. And then I found out it's completely random. Like, all things considered. Like, I know it is based on some kind of stat, but like for child me, I wouldn't have been able to find out what that is, so it's just basically random. Okay, so how would this one look? Okay, I think I'm thinking of something. Something's coming to me. Something has stirred within me. And it says, make them sharper. Just make them sharper, it says. Sharpen those earlobes. Those earlobes! Make it look like a cat. And then, because now I wanna... I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. These are the most accurate looking Pokemon, you guys. It's funny to hear someone reading the Brazilian laugh. We mean it as hoe, hoe, ho, hu, hua, hua, hua. And we forget the hue is actually a word in English. Oh, hue. Like hue, 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 hue. Hue, hue. I think in Japanese they write W's instead of LOL. They write WWWW, and it's like pronounced wah 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 wah, like oh wah 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 wah. And then in Spanish, my friends always type JEJE because J is pronounced H, so it's he he he. But I always thought they were saying J J J. How would you guys like, you know the classic coo foo 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 laugh that like they do in Japanese? Like or, you know, maybe they're old and grizzled, so it's like I always like overpronounce the consonants. Hoenn starters are the best and my favorite. Sure, Gavin, sure. Basically random even if you do know what it is. It's not even basically random, it's just random. If I remember right, that number is generated upon the Pokemon spawning in and doesn't change. I've seen hee and haha for Spanish. GG, Jaja! Can I also say I really don't like drawing swirls? Swirls are like maybe one of my least favorite things to draw just because they're so... I don't know, like you have to make them just right. Made her too high. Let's see. What do for tail? I'm going to just do like a this. Just do a like a this. Alright, I think that's it. I have perfectly recreated these Pokemon from memory. Yeah, I think that's all I can do. I don't remember anything else about these creatures. Okay, so let's redline it, shall we? I love swirls so much, says Nix. I wish I could do more in my art, but I decay where to put them. Spirals! Spirals everywhere, Nix! Just put them anywhere you want. Put them on knees. Put them on noses. Put them on the cheeks. Put them in the eyes. Put them instead of nipples. It's the evil woman laugh like Jessie's. Yeah, but Kufufu is more like a kind of deeper, like menacing, I think. Like you're plotting. The is more like ho ho ho, I think. I remember. Okay, so Meowstic. Let's do this first. This isn't the first time I've... Oh, they do have two tails. Okay. Okay, so right off the bat, I forgot one sock thing over here. Oh, that red is horrendous. So he has one sock up top. His hair goes down. His hair goes down. My hair goes up. My hair goes down. Technically, it's just a swish, but I'm gonna give myself this one because it is spiky fur. I did give him spiky fur, so I'm gonna give myself this. I didn't give him his, like, his hip whiskers, his like peeling thighs. Which looks like a condition. So maybe my Meowstic is just healthier. And technically the tail should be curlier. Like ends in a curl like that. And he has 2 of them. Like this. Okay? Just needs one of these lines. I'll leave that. It's fine. Oh, his feet too. Okay, so with her, you know, it's not wrong. Essentially, the ears are correct. Her hair goes up though. Like, I got it mixed up. Her hair goes up. And his hair goes down. And then, I got her fluff here right. I even got this. Like, I just added that because I thought maybe there would be something there. But she does have something on the tail. It's just one thing, but... And then she's got some peeling happening here, too. These guys gotta get that checked out, honestly. She's got some high knee thing there. But yeah, I think I got her a little bit closer than him. As for Poplio, I'm gonna go with Master Wheeler's approval and say that I got Poplio completely 100% A+. Perfect. Yeah, okay. What about poor little Esper here? Did I get Esper correct? Esper has his floopy ears, his side fluff, his hair on top. He has some hair down here too. I think I got Esper pretty good too. Alright, and then now I have one last Pokemon to draw because I did promise Nyx a Salazzle. And I avoid looking at Salazzle as much as possible. So this is gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna start with a lizard head. And I know she has chest way out. And then hip way out. And then like legs full splayed. And then she's got ooh, sassy arm. Sassy arm, like here maybe. Get some Olympia hand going on there. Yeah. Hiss. I don't know what her feet looks like, so I'm just gonna give her lizard feet. I think she's got like things on her back. I picked up a Salazzle card from the GameStop one time. I didn't know it was a Salazzle when I went in, but I knew they were giving out cards. So I went to the GameStop. And I don't think we've even claimed it. Do they, like, expire? I think those mystery gifts might expire. Because I don't actually have Sun or Moon, so I get these cards from my brother, but he doesn't play it anymore. So there's no one there to claim the prizes, and yet I keep getting them for some reason. Which just makes it really sad when I like open the DS case and I see the cards just there, you know? It's like, what could have been. It was a shiny Salazzle too, I think. Just feels weird logging into someone else's game. Okay, so here's where it's gonna get tricky. I don't know what any of the markings on her looks like. And I actually don't know what the tail looks like either. I only know about these things because I saw a GIF of her once, and they were like fluttering in the back. She was like giving her hand, like she was putting her hand up, like talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. Nyx is like, why I love Salazzle. She's one of my good babies. Pokemon cards? Yeah, the mystery gifts expire. She has like fire markings. Let's see, fire markings. Hot Rod. Ooh, baby. Sexy lady. I have shiny Salazzle. Her name is Razzle Dazzle. The shiny Salazzle. That's a really good name. I don't know if there's anything on her head, so how accurate is this? Alright, guys. I think I've had my fun for the evening. Sorry, I butchered your girl, Nyx, but this is all I see when I think of Salazzle. Because most of the time I like am not really paying attention to the details. I'm just like, wow, look at those curves. She's quite the lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. Anyway. That does it for this evening. I'd like to thank y'all for joining me on this little art adventure as we sit and have fun and chat together and let me catch up with the chat. She's my baby. Whoa, 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 she's my baby. Kick! Tails brought up her name. She's fairly accurate, to be honest. Those curves definitely made a fairly accurate impression on you. Yeah, I couldn't... That's all I remember. And honestly, I mean, she's funny looking. I like it. It's not bad. I do really like Salandit, I will say. Salandit is a cutie. It's really, really adorable. So, I'd just like to, once again, Ending. Okay, there. Oh, I haven't added mouse back in. But anyways, I want to thank my patrons. I want to thank everyone for joining me on this stream. I have a few announcements just at the end here. We have this is the last stream for this month, I think, and next month is December, in which I already mentioned I'm taking a hiatus. But December, I'm also going to be doing game streams. So instead of drawing on Mondays, I'm going to be playing Banjo-Kazooie. So please, I'm gonna be like talking with you, and if you want to chat with me still and watch a really fun old game, definitely come by. In January, I'm going to be doing Shield streams, but on Sundays on another channel. So you can still watch them here, but we'll be monitoring chat on the other channel. And then tomorrow, my very close good friend Polar is streaming Crash Team Racing, and they decided to stream tomorrow because I'm streaming today. So I hope everyone goes to Polar's channel also and watches their stuff. Check out my stuff on zeroprostudio.com. And until next time, happy Thanksgiving! Bye!